Back to our top story, and of course, that being Iran's most senior nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, having been assassinated near the capital, Tehran, this Friday. That killing having been confirmed by the country's defence minister. He was considered the driving force behind the country's nuclear weapons program before it was quietly disbanded in the early 2000s. Joining me now is Adnan Tabatabai, a political analyst on Iranian affairs. Adnan, just how significant is this killing?
It is certainly significant to have an assassination carried out not in a third country, but in fact on Iranian soil. So that's certainly significant. With regards to the impact of that on Iran's nuclear program, I would have to say, though, that is far more institutionalized, organized, and in fact well established, as to believe that this would, for example, now really mean Iran is no longer able to further its nuclear program. So I would make that differentiation here.
How do you think Iran will respond to this assassination?
The one thing that becomes really clear when listening to Iranian officials in the past months and actually throughout the Trump campaign has been that they are aware that these kind of actions, which they believe are carried out from outside, so by the US and by Israel, for example, are designed to either drag Iran to the negotiating table from a weakened position or to drag Iran into committing a huge mistake, which could lead to an all-out war. So I think Iran will not react immediately and define as some sort of revenge similar to what they have defined for Qasem Soleimani when they said that the revenge for his killing would be to work on ousting the US from the region rather than having an immediate reaction.
Now, of course, we're in the last days of the Trump administration, and Israel so far has not yet commented, but the Iranian foreign minister says Israel was likely behind the killing. So all fingers do seem to be pointing in the direction of Tel Aviv, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically an open secret that 10 years ago there have been many such targeted killings carried out by the Israeli intelligence, Mossad. So the design looks pretty much as if it's a Mossad operation. Let's take into consideration the previous trips that U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo did into the region, having meetings in Israel and in Saudi Arabia, and some of that was viewed as being the preparation of some sort of attacks on Iran. And this could possibly be one of those operations that had been discussed or arranged. But obviously, we will have to wait and see whether that is really the case.
But what does it mean for the incoming Joe Biden administration? How is that going to impact their approach on what to do with Iran?
Yeah, it goes without saying that makes any prospect for a smooth return to the JCPOA or a smooth resumption of diplomatic communication between Washington and Tehran. This makes it even more complicated than it is anyway. And I think it is exactly designed to do that. Opponents of Iranian-US rapprochement of any sort do also exist inside Iran, of course, but they are also in the US. The Trump administration wanted to make sure that the Biden administration can do nothing in that regard. So that is obviously one of the aims that we have to view as being the rationale behind that attack.
Just finally, Adnan, is there, as a result, given what you've just been saying, is there any way to come back from this to ensure that there are no further sort of hostilities or violence resulting from this killing?
The important point would be to see how Iran reacts to this. And I guess if we do not see an immediate response of in any shape or form from the Iranians, or a very, let's say, mild response. It's up to speculation what that could mean, but if we see Iran not reacting to that with immediate action, that should be read as a sign that Tehran will try, regardless of this incident, to see whether there is a way with the Biden administration to return to some terms of the JCPOA and to gradually end this heightened tension. But that would in fact require that people are aware of Iran's decision to do so. So the messaging that's going to happen between now and the inauguration of Joe Biden will be extremely important in this regard.
Adnan Tabatabai, thank you so much for your time.